Hello and welcome to the simple interest video. This is the first page of a worksheet. It is in fact on Canvas. It's called Story Problem Practice. This is the first page. There's like 4 pages to it. The GoFormatives that we're working on, I'm going to pull from this packet, I guess, or worksheet. So if you'd like to take a look at that, you can. But the answer key to this is also on Canvas. Now, this is downloaded from a Word document, so the formatting got a little weird up at the top, but we're just going to go through problems 1, 2, and 3, and then I'll leave a few more problems for you to do in the GoFormative. Just a reminder how the equation looks for simple interest. That's going to be y is equal to a times 1 plus or minus r to the x. You're not going to use plus or minus in the equation. It's either going to be plus if you are increasing by something, or minus if it is decreasing. In this case, let's see, A is your start amount, R is your rate, X is time, and Y is your ending or your new amount. So those are kind of each piece there. So let's take a look at that very first example. Cami invests $500 in an account paying 8.2% interest. Okay, so let's highlight the important parts here. So there's invests $500. So that means we are going to start with $500. So that's going to be our A value. And then at a rate, paying 8.2% interest. So this is going to be our rate. And remember, in order to turn a percentage into a decimal, you move the decimal place either 2 times to the left, or you can divide by 100. We're going to get 0.082. It's not going to be 0.82 because that is very, very different. So let's do part A, write in an exponential equation. So for us, it's going to be y or f of x. I'm fine with the other one. Actually, no, let's use f of x for this. So I'm going to go back. F of x is okay. So f of x is equal to our start value of 500 times 1 plus, because it's paying that amount, so you're paying more and more. So it's paying 8.2% interest. So plus 0.082 to the power of x, because we don't know our time yet. You can also write this as 500 times 1.082 to the x. That's okay as well. So next question is, how much will she have after 9 years? So we're plugging in 9 for our x value. So f of 9 is going to be 500 times 1.082 to the 9, and that's going to get us 1016.28. Now it actually gives us a much longer decimal than this, but because we're dealing with money, you're always going to round to the second decimal place every time, second decimal place. And since this is a story problem, we got to write a sentence. So we will say, let's do that in green. Let's see, the account will have $1,016.28 after 9 years. So I'm including my amount of time, which is my x, and my final amount, or my end amount, which is my y. Let's try this again. So now we want to know, how much money will she have after 20 years? So f of 20 is 500 times 1.082 to the 20th, and that's going to be 2418.32. So that's a lot of money. So we can say the account will have $2,418.32 after 20 years, which is a lot. So let's take a look at just a few more problems. So the next one, Brian takes out a loan for $32,000. $32,000. So that's going to be how much we're starting with. He has to pay 6% simple interest on the loan. So he has to pay So he's paying more and more, so this is going to be our rate. And that's going to be 0.06, and we're going to be adding that on to the amount we have to pay. So our equation is going to be f of x is equal to 32,000 times 1.06 to the x. So I've already added that on there. So for our question, how much will he owe after 10 years if he doesn't make any payments? That's going to be f of 10, which is 32,000 times 1.06 to the power of 10, and that's going to give us 57307.12, or as a sentence, he will owe $57,307.12 after 10 years. That's a lot of money. Always pay down your interest first. Make continuous payments. These are things you want for good credit and to just not owe as much money. These are the things you're going to use in real life. So let's tackle problem number 3, parts A, B, and C, and let's get going. That's going to be the end of the video. So let's see. Chris bought a house for $340,000. So this is our starting amount that we are paying. So this is A. It says it is depreciating at 10% per year. So it's depreciating means that we're going to be using that minus sign. So instead of 1 plus R, now it's going to be 1 minus R because it's losing value. And that's going to be at a rate of, I'm on my highlighter, 10%. So this is going to be our R, and that's 0.1 or 0.10. So if I'm going to write the equation for this, I can say that f of x is equal to 340,000 times 1 minus 0.1 to the power of x. Or it might be easier to write this as our start value times 0.9 to the x. So that's what we're going to keep that as. I'm also going to move this up a little bit. Okay. So how much will it be worth in 5 years? Okay, so that's 5 years in the future. So we'll say f of 5 is equal to 340,000 times 0.9 to the power of 5. So we're losing that interest every 5, or you're losing 10% every 5 years, or pardon me, every year for 5 years. And the answer to that is going to be 200,766.60. So as a sentence, the house will be worth $200,766.60 5 years from now. Or in 5 years. So that's pretty good. But let's take a look at the next question, because the next one gets a little bit tricky. It says, what is it worth 3 years before she bought it? So if it's 3 years before she bought it, that's back in time. So what we can do is, if we want to go back in time backwards, if we think of a number line where now is 0 and 5 years in the future was just the number 5, if we go backwards on our number line, 3 years ago is going to bring us into the negative numbers. So we're going to find f of negative 3. So f of negative 3 is equal to 340,000 times 0.9 to the negative 3. Now what this is going to do is this is going to earn us a larger value, because if it's losing money as we go forward in time, it should be gaining as we go backwards. And that is true. If we plug this into our calculator, we get 466,392.31. Or if we were to write this in a sentence, the house was worth $466,392.31 3 years ago. So practice using this equation. knowing when to do 1 plus your rate or 1 minus your rate. Keep in mind we might be asking about going backwards in time, and always write a sentence for your story problems. Let me know if you have any questions. Please move on to the next video.